friends, we're going to read two stories today from the story tree. The first story is The Little Red Hen, and it's an English story. Do you remember one was an African American story, and then I think a German story, different from different countries. Once upon a time, there was a little red hen. So this is a story about, like I said, a little red hen, and she wants to make bread, but they don't have a store where they can buy flour. They have to make the flour themselves. So that's what she's going to do. Let's see if anyone helps her. The little red hen was scratching and scratching with her feet in the dust. Suddenly she found a grain of yellow wheat. Do you see it way down here? See if I can show you. Very low down there. Tut tut, this wheat should be planted, she clucked. Who will help me plant this grain of wheat? Not I, said Dab the duck. Not I, said Tib the cat. Not I, said Tod the fox. Well, then I will plant it myself, said the little red hen, and she did. Soon enough, the grain had grown into a tall stalk. With a long ear of yellow wheat at the top of it. Tut tut, this wheat is ripe, she clucked, which means it's ready. Who will help me cut it? Do you think her friends will help her? Not I, said Dab the duck. Not I, said Tib the cat. Not I, said Tod the fox. Well, then I will do it myself. And she did. Soon enough, the ear of yellow wheat was lying at her feet. See down here? Tut tut, this ear is ready for threshing, she clucked. Who will help me thresh it? Not I, said Dab the duck. Not I, said Tib the cat. Not I, said Tod the fox. Then who's going to do it? So the little red hen said, then I will thresh it myself. So she's using a tool. And so they're trying to get that, it's called a thresher, the wheat ready to turn into flour so she can make something with it. Soon enough, the wheat was threshed. See, now it's in little pieces up here. Up there. And she'd blown away all the chaff with the flapping of her wings. You see her moving her wings and there she is. Tut tut, this wheat is ready for milling, she clucked. Who will help me mill it into flour? They want to turn it into flour now. Not I, said Dab the duck, and Tib the cat and Tod the fox all said, not I. Well, then I'll mill it myself. And she did. Soon enough, the wheat had been milled. And what she did is put the grains of wheat between two stones and rubbed it together. Tut tut, the flour, so it made it real fine. Tut tut, this flour is ready for baking. Who will help me bake it? And do you think her friends said they would help her? Nope. They all said, not I. Well, then I'll bake it myself, said the little red hen, and she did. You see, it looks like that must be little Ren's head. Mom, maybe, looking out the window. Tut tut, this bread is ready. Oh, soon enough, it was mixed and kneaded and baked into a loaf of sweet, fresh, steaming bread. Tut tut, this bread is ready for eating. Who will help me eat it? I will, said Tib the cat, and Tod the fox, and Dab the duck. Oh, no, you won't, said the little red hen. I planted it all by myself. I cut it all by myself. I threshed it and milled it and baked it all by myself. And now I'm going to eat it all by myself. And she did. And that is the end of the story. We're going to read one more, and it's an Indian story. I'm going to look it up in the table of contents to tell me what page to go to. It's called Monkey See, Monkey Do, page 16. Here's the table of contents. There's, I know a couple variations, at least one other of the story called Caps for Sale. That's very similar to Monkey See, Monkey Do. But I've never read this one though. Page, do you remember what page we were supposed to go to? That's right, 16. I almost forgot. All right. Monkey see, monkey do. And it's an Indian story. See the man? He has a cart with hats. Once upon a time, there was a man who sold hats. And he was pushing his cart through a road through the jungle. And what was in his cart? Hats, of course. There were top hats and mob hats and bubble hats and flat caps and bonnets and balaclavas and bowler hats, all carefully packed together, ready for market. So he's going to go to a market, but it's not like our supermarket. It's an outdoor market with tables and such, and people can go and shop for things outside. But there was a hole in the road. One of the wheels of the cart got caught, and the cart tipped over. It tipped right over, and what happened? All of the hats fell out. Oh no. Now in the trees of that jungle where there were hundreds of monkeys, and when they saw all those hats lying in the road, they were laughing and chattering and swinging down from the branches. Each one wanted to grab a hat and wear it themselves. Before the man could yell, "Stop!" all his hats had been taken. The only one left was the one on his head. What's he going to do? He looked up into the trees, and at every branch there was what? A monkey with, you're right, a hat. There are monkeys with top hats and monkeys with mob caps and bubble caps and flat caps and bonnets and baklavas and bowlers. They were all looking down at him. The man was cross, which meant he was mad. He put his hands to his mouth and shouted, "Give me back my hats." Do you think the monkeys listened? No. But what the monkey sees, a monkey does, and they put their hands to their mouth and they shouted back at him. Now this made the man very angry. He picked up a stick and waved it at them. We'll pretend this is a stick. "Give me back my hats, or there'll be trouble." But what a monkey sees, a monkey does. They all broke sticks, the monkeys, broke them in half, and waved them at the man. Remember, they're copying the man. The man was furious. He stamped his feet. "Give me back my hats." So what did the monkeys do? That's right. They stomped their feet and bellowed back at him. Now the man was sad. He buried his face in his hand and began to cry. "Oh, my precious hats, how will I ever get them back?" But what a monkey sees, a monkey does, and they all buried their faces in their hands and sobbed back at him. The man looked up at the monkeys. The monkeys looked down at the man. Suddenly the man pulled the hat from his head and hurled it down to the ground. "Well, that's enough of that. No more selling hats for me. I'll have to find myself another job." So what are the monkeys going to do now? Remember, they copy him. He lifted the wheel out of the hole and pushed his empty cart away down the road. But what a monkey sees, a monkey does. They all pulled their hats from their head, hurled them down into the ground, and scampered away into the shadows of the jungle. And when the man looked over his shoulder, what did he see? Hats. Bobble hats and flat hats and mob hats and bowler hats. He ran back and loaded them carefully into his cart. Then he put on his own hat on his own head and pushed his cart along the road. And that is the end of that story. Bye for now.